welcome to this episode of GFA Attract. Today we have a very special edition, the rain cohort edition. So with me today is Sam of Zvendo. Hi Sam, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Nicole? How are you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for joining. We'll just get straight into it.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect. So we're just going to get straight into it. We want to know more about you, who Sam is.
Easy question for now. So it was a good childhood. I'm born and raised and educated in Egypt. My family, my father and my mother, they got divorced at a very early stage in my life. So I had two places where I can stay at. So that was a part where I could have been a very bad child, but I didn't. For my own luck, probably that's it. I always liked science. I liked to read. Computers were not that common by then. I'm 43 years old, so very old computers, old personal computers were there, but mainly were used for games. So I like to play games on those computers, watch videos, movies. Actually wasn't the social media time at all. So it was videos where you would rent a VHS tape. And so it was a good childhood. I'm the only child of my father, and I have two older sisters from my mother. So I was a bit, but not too much, spoiled by my father, and my mother added some balance to this. But in general, I think I was a bit spoiled. Actually, many people, it was really related to the period of time. So at one point in time, I used to be part of a club of aeroplanes enthusiasts. So I would make maquettes, models of airplanes that actually fly. So I think that was at that time our trainer would have been my biggest influencer. Sometimes my father in certain discussions, sometimes my mother. So every every period of time, like below 10 years old, I would look up for a couple people who used to do sports in our building, and then the trainer at the airplanes club, and then my father when I grew up a bit and I started to be interested in other things. My mother helped me a lot in the way I managed to, as I told you, I was between two homes, mainly living with my mother, but I had a room at my father's place. So I would go there and I would face some difficulties, and my mother was a role model for me at that time and influenced how I handled things. Then I grew up a bit and I started doing sports, rowing, and again, the trainer would be the influencer and so on. So I would say several people, not only one person. And I can't use a predefined and ready answer like my kids and wife, and I say wife before kids. It will be my TV. I like watching movies and stuff like that, and I like playing Xbox. So TV is a very essential part for both things, whether watching movies or playing Xbox. So Actually, it's my favorite thing. And at this hot weather in Egypt, our air conditioners is also a favorite thing, but mainly my TV. And early is very relevant. So sometimes I would wake up at 8 and sometimes I would wake up at 5. Regardless of when I sleep, sometimes I wake up really early than what I'm supposed than when I'm supposed to wake up. I would do whatever, eat, watch TV, sometimes work. And usually the first thing I do in the morning is that I check messages on WhatsApp, which used to be email long time ago, and then emails, and I would come to the office. I don't do, it's been a while, although I used to do some sports every day, actually every day, it's been a while. I'm planning to come back and focusing on a good healthy diet recently, because for the past few years I decided to choose my battles and I was eating whatever I want, whenever I want, stopped all kinds of sports, and now I'm trying to get back. My mother was a stay-at-home wife, and my father was an architect. I don't know what exactly, but when I got married, my wife, she had her own private business, a home accessories store. And she came from a family that all of them worked either in manufacturing, furniture manufacturing, or trading. So she was really into it. And while I was working as an employee, I started doing small jobs or trying to do small jobs a couple of times. And then we opened up a store in a mall, a customized printing store. And bit by bit, I started to get really interested. Of course, I was always working in technology, and technology was and still my true passion at work. So I started to get really involved with social media and e-commerce. That was around 2009. And I got very interested in the model that you can have a physical store, but you can do stuff online that would help and boost sales at a physical store. Then started to sell on marketplaces like Souq, that is now Amazon. And then I got really and my wife, she started to have her own store. That one was a partnership between me, her, and my sisters. And then it didn't go well. We had the revolution in Egypt. My wife started her own business, home accessory store. I started to help her with stuff like photography, social media, website, and it started to be clear to me that social media and e-commerce have a huge impact on her sales. Started to do the photography and I liked it. So managing social media, I liked it. So bit by bit, I started to realize that there's a huge need for a business that would help your business with online and different activities that you do online to improve your sales, and discussed it. Actually, I had several trials other than this e-commerce passion or interests. And then I discussed it with Tarek. Tarek is my partner and co-founder. And we agreed to start a business together. And that's how it started.
So can you say that your wife kind of inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
I have to say that. I have to. She's everything, and she has a lot of impact on me being able to work as an entrepreneur or to have a private business, because it really gets to the family and affects your family in so many ways. I studied computer science. I worked in companies like Microsoft. I worked in 9 companies before starting my own company. For almost, I'm not sure, it's like 15 years or less, something like that. And a good 9 years of them were Microsoft, and 2 years in a in the biggest contact center in Egypt. And before that, 8 different companies in less than 5 or 6 years. So I moved a lot, always with a good relationship with those, the previous job. And I did a lot of technical work, a lot of IT and technology related jobs. And then I switched to sales at Microsoft. So I worked as a sales account manager responsible for higher education and education as well for around 5 years. So it's a really dynamic market. E-commerce is growing by over 30% year over year. It's becoming a de facto standard, so everybody should have e-commerce, although there's an incredibly huge market that still doesn't have their online presence set up well, or even set up at all yet. The market from the consumer side is getting completely ready. People are getting used to buy their stuff online. A lot of consumer behaviors are changing and accommodating the presence of e-commerce in the country and in the region in general. The supporting functions like logistic companies, so many payment providers are available. So actually it's in a huge growth mode period. At this the period that we're at, there's a huge growth in all aspects of the industry. We knew that the market needs companies that would help businesses build and maintain and manage their online presence, whether it's social media, website, apps in some cases, and the services that needs to be done, like logistics, photography, content. And our first company was an agency that provides a lot of services that would help you or that would manage your e-commerce business on your behalf. And we knew that we needed our own technology. And this is when we decided to start the company, Zvendo, and build a product that is localized, that covers the issues that we see our customers and other merchants in the market face when they use international technology that is not built within the market limits and needs. So this is when we decided that we will have our own technology.